Good evening, Elena Barbera here. Welcome to the Base Mother Show. Tonight, I'm going to be going over a list of people who in this country have really gone over the top, and they do it every week. And this may just become a new segment where every week I come up with a new list for you that really needs to be reviewed. Let's start at the top in Newark, New Jersey, where 3 congressmen and the mayor of Newark raided an ICE facility. There's a detention facility. There happen to be MS-13 gang members there, rapists, murderers, the huge. They're all in there. But the congressman and the mayor, they thought that they should be able to bust in and demand I forget what they called it. What did they call it? An oversight visit. As if these are the people we're going to trust with overseeing our immigration after 4 years of the Biden administration. Are you serious? Look at this crazy scene they caused in Newark. It's nuts.
Get off of her! You cannot push it! You cannot hold this! You can't push members of Congress!
This is peaceful! You are fascists!
Get off of her!
You are fascists! This is peaceful!
Get off of her! Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's not peaceful, even a little bit. And these people wouldn't know fascists if they had gotten drunk with them all day long. Are you serious? So these are the 4 here who ended up in handcuffs. We've got the mayor of Newark. His name is Baraka. The gentleman on the bottom left is Representative Rob Menendez. We've got Bonnie Watson Coleman on the bottom right. And then on the upper right, we've got LaMonica McIver. Not McIver, like the TV show, McIver, because I have a very serious suspicion that this woman solves no problems and only causes them. So now they've been arrested. And, I just can't help but wonder why the Democrats are so committed to gang members, rapists, murderers, people who have been convicted of these crimes in their home countries and or in our country. What is the big attraction to them? And I just can't help but to go back to the reason that they brought them here to begin with is that they need new voters. And because they were just dwindling among Americans, their approval rating is somewhere in the low 20% range. So if you just try to stop the deportations and do everything you can, maybe you can run out the clock on the Trump presidency. And maybe then you get to keep your tens of millions of illegals and get them on the voter rolls legally and get them voting for you. That's the only logical explanation. And the other explanation, of course, is that they're evil, but that one kind of goes with the first one too. Because I don't know how you could look at a young girl like Jocelyn Nungare, the 12-year-old in Houston who was raped, tortured, beaten, and then finally strangled to death and thrown into a ravine by 2 illegal aliens. I don't know how you could look at her family and then and not say, all right, you know what? You're right. I give up. I'm not going to fight this. I'm not going to fight for the MS-13 members anymore. I'm not going to fight for the illegals anymore. Even if she was the only one. But there have been hundreds of Americans that we know of damaged, plus millions of us, all of us who are taxpayers, having our tax dollars stolen to fund this invasion. These people are downright evil. So they are right at the top of my list, right here. That was a developing story as of just a few hours ago. I don't know where they are right now. I hope they're still in cuffs. I hope they're in a cell somewhere having a really bad night. So let's see who's next on the list. Oh, wait, then there's these clowns out of Boston. So this is this organization called Lucy. I don't even know what it stands for. Massachusetts, and they're an ICE watch is how they go by. So if you see ICE, you call the hotline and they disseminate information warnings. So this is literally like obstruction of justice. If they're warning people that, ICE is on the way and you better go run and hide. So this number 617-370-5023. I mean, it would be nuts, as I saw somebody else post on Twitter. I didn't come up with this idea myself, but what a shame it would be if everybody just called that phone number. and gave reports. Oh man, yeah, they're at the ice cream shop. Oh man, I saw them at the mechanic on on State Street. You better get out of there and just drive these people crazy with prank phone calls so that they can't obstruct justice as easily. Man, Boston, Tom Homan's like this on Boston, totally focused in. He is not playing around there. He said he's going to be bringing more agents across the country to get more people out of the country who are here illegally faster. The deportations cannot happen fast enough, and it all has to happen this year. It all has to happen long before the midterms in 26. We do not want Democrats running on this. It's got to be over by then. So let's go. But these people, loose, right on the list. You made my list today. Oh, who else do we have? Oh, Bernie Sanders. Listen to what he had to say, our favorite climate activist.
Rallies in a week, the only way you can get around to talk to 30,000 people. Think I'm going to be sitting on a waiting line at United, waiting, 30,000 people are waiting? That's the only way you can get around. No apologies for that. That's what campaign travel is about. We've done it in the past. We're going to do it in the future.
All right, so Bernie is determined to continue to fly on private jets. I kind of agree with you, Bernie. There should be no apologies. Anyone should be able to fly in a private jet without being harassed. Only Democrats can do it without being harassed by Democrats, though. Everyone else who does it is killing the environment. I also agree with you. It's terrible standing in line waiting for United when you've got somewhere important to be. All of us plebes out here, we have to do it. But you take campaign donations and fly around like a king. It must be nice. The funny thing, though, is that Bernie is such a damn hypocrite. He has been screaming for years about the existential crisis that climate change is bringing upon us, and that humanity is in danger of dying within a short number of years if we don't stop using fossil fuels, if we don't stop using oil, if we don't switch to electricity, and you have to all live in 15-minute cities in tiny apartments while he has multiple houses in the country around America. He lives like a king. He wants you to live like a little mouse in a hovel. His website says the fossil fuel industry must begin to pay for the extraordinary damage it has caused and continues to cause every day. Climate change is an existential threat to every person on Earth. Another page also talking about climate change and fossil fuels. Frankly, this is not a difficult choice. This is a moral responsibility. Did he sound like he was being moral just now when he said no apologies? My time is more important than to be used waiting at a United terminal? That didn't sound very moral, Bernie. Got yourself a spot on the list. Who else is? Oh, Ilhan Omar, our beautiful congresswoman from Minnesota who hates you unless you voted for her. She hates white people, and here's the proof.
Our country should be more fearful of white men across our country, because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country. We should be profiling, monitoring, and creating policies to fight the radicalization of white men.
All right, here's why I think maybe she's right that you should be afraid of white men. I can say that as a white woman, I have had it up to here with this vile, racist, inflammatory, divisive BS. I've had it. I'm done listening to it. So, yeah, I mean, maybe you should be afraid that we don't blow our top. I'm not saying we're gonna, because we have actually held it together for a very, very long time while you've been screaming this nonsense at us. But now to say that white men are the most prolific killers and causing the most death in this nation, that's actually, it's kind of a funny thing, because it's women, not that a Democrat could define a woman, but women are causing the most death, to the tune of 1 million unborn babies a year in America, all caused death, destruction, all caused by women. Now, no matter where you stand on that issue, 1 million is a pretty jarring number. when you think about it. As far as profiling goes, she's going to be the judge. She's going to start following us around, following my son around, my white family members and friends around, my white countrymen around, and she's going to judge if they're moral or not. This one, who moved here from another country that she says was terrible because she couldn't speak her mind, and she's trying to turn this country into an oppressive country just like her old country, with profiling and division. This one, I have a feeling she's going to be on the list every week. What a monster. Who else we got? Oh, I have a hit from somebody else's shit list. Okay, let's take a look. Here's Pete Hegseth, our defense secretary, who has just announced that effective immediately, transgenders are no longer welcome in the military, and he's giving them a chance to, self-remove, or starting in June, they are going to be removed, and they are no longer going to be allowed in recruitment. Here's what he has to say.
We are leaving wokeness and weakness behind. No more pronouns, no more climate change obsession, no more emergency vaccine mandates, no more dudes in dresses. We're done with that shit. We're focused on lethality, meritocracy, accountability, standards, and readiness.
We're done with that, he says. So the transgender community is absolutely freaking out over this. The Human Rights Campaign, which has such a lovely name, but they spend all of their time trying to work on trans rights, especially for children, because nothing makes them happier than sticking children full of hormones and cutting off good, healthy body parts and telling them that they're born in the wrong body and twisting their sense of reality. Anyway, so they are losing their minds over this, and they put up this post, which is one of their arguments for why transgenders belong in the military. It says, it's interesting to hear we are too strong for sports, but too weak for the military. I mean, how anybody could hear that argument and think, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Men who we believe are too strong to be beating up on women who are the weaker sex. Sorry, feminists, that's the truth. The weaker sex, yeah, you don't belong beating up on women in sports. That is a completely separate issue. The reason you don't belong in the military are medical and mental health reasons. If you can't even reconcile the fact of that you're a man in a man's body, or you're in a woman's body, that most basic sense of attachment to reality, if you're not there, you do not belong managing or handling our weapons, our war strategies, or hell, even our food in the military. Sorry, Charlie or Charlene or whatever it is you want to call yourself. Plus, transgenders need constant medical care. So there are there's a list this long of reasons why you can't join the military if you're, what do you call it? If you have a medical condition. This long. But you want your medical condition to not only be overlooked as if it's not a big one, it's a pretty big one when you think that you're a man and you want to get your schlong cut off. Pretty big medical condition right there. So anyway, to say that this is that you're so strong that you can't be a man sports, but you're not strong enough for the military. This isn't about how many push-ups you can do. This isn't about if you can get through physical basic training. This is about if you have a sense of reality, if you have serious mental health problems, and quite frankly, you do. Gender dysphoria is a mental condition. It's not normal, and we don't need that in the military. And women don't need dudes in dresses in their spaces anywhere in this country, especially in the military where they're serving to keep us safe. They need to be protected above all. So Pete Hegseth, congratulations for getting on the trannies list this week, yet again, because that's a list you want to be on. That is all for tonight. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. God bless you. God bless America. See you next week.